Good evening. A few weeks ago, Richard asked me to speak on Wednesday night devotional. And at that time, I was not thinking. I just said sure, you know. Anyway, and getting closer and closer, and I was just nervous, and I just can't imagine like Richard and doing every week doing this. So I am very panicked the last couple days. So, anyway, it is very uncomfortable for me to doing this thing. If I speak in Japanese, it might be more easier, but I'll do my best tonight. Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1 said, "Be imitator of me, as I am of Christ." Lately, I'm thinking about how to be a good example of my boys. And am I doing okay, or just how can I better for my good example? And I tried, and I decided to do more at the service, and this is part of it too. So, and doing the opening prayer, Lord's Supper, and then speaking at the youth devotional, and this is really challenging, and it is. I am not used to do this kind of stuff, so this is very, very uncomfortable. This made me think about Wednesday night song service. And since COVID started, we were not having any song service in first week of the Wednesday. So, and then at the time, and the little kids come lead song, lead a song, and then come up here doing this, and then I am really admire them, and they have so much college to do, and then even adults hesitate to do this kind of stuff. So. And working on the Lads to Leaders program, these young boys grow and getting better each year, each time, and then that gives them the confidence to this. Watching these boys are a great example to us. And then that's part of me. I decided to do more to serving at the church. I really want to challenge each man to step outside of the comfort zone to do this, speaking and more serving at the church too. And Philippians chapter 3:17 said, "Brothers, join in following my example, and not those who walk, as you have us for pattern." Not only kids, we have great Christian leadership in this congregation, such as these. We have great eldership, and these deacons, and those who serve at the worship service, and also working at the behind the scene, like booth over there, and also the Bible class teachers. And then I'd like to tell a little story about Christian example. My mother-in-law, probably she's watching right now, but when Nico was a year or two old, and my mom coming from Japan, and spent over a month and helping with us. And one weekend, my mother-in-law and they decide to come to see grandkids, not us. And and then one night that weekend, my mom and my mother-in-law start cooking dinner together. And my mom speaks very little English, and then my mother-in-law doesn't have any Japanese at all. But somehow they speak some kind of grandmother language together to make dinner together, and we had a great time at the dinner table. So, and anyway, after my mom went home and to Japan, and then all of a sudden she started going to church in Tokyo. And I was so surprised, and then I have no idea what was happened at that moment. And she started asking me about Bible questions and all kinds of sort of questions I cannot answer. And then a few months later, and she baptized at the church in Tokyo. And it was a very great moment, and I just heard the news, but just so shocking. I never thought my mom obeyed the gospel. Then my mom started going to church regularly, and then my dad started going to church with her. And then they start going to church every Sunday morning, and then just a couple of years later, and my dad baptized also. This was also Karen and I never thought these things happen, and he's very old school Japanese, very stubborn type of person. So this probably it was shocking also that moment. And I asked my mom about it, what's happening and why she started going to church, and then she said she want to be like my mother-in-law. So she loved how taking care of my mother. My mother loved my mother-in-law so much, and then because of her action and the caring and her love, that how Christians supposed to do. And even though they don't speak same language, my mother-in-law show her Christianity through her. And so you do not speak same language, people should be able to meet Christ just by your example. So tonight, if you want to be baptized, or if you need to some prayer, please come forward and stand. We sing.